Welcome back, everyone. This is Austin Reville here at 2FC Tactical, and we're going to dive into kind of a uncomfortable topic. Uncomfortable because it's disgusting and has dominated the headlines for most of this past year, but literally for years, and that is the Epstein list. But we're going to talk about it as it relates to the 2A world, and unfortunately, there is some crossover here. So let's dive into it. So diving in today, something that we haven't discussed on the channel before, and I'm going to give a shout out to the Reload. Stephen Gutowski over there is the one who broke this story about Jeffrey Epstein's ties to the anti-gun and the gun manufacturing world. So going back in time to 2012, Sandy Hook happens, that terrible tragedy up in Connecticut, and there was an ammo manufacturer that was struggling, and Epstein has sent some emails to Tom Pritzker, who is J.B. Pritzker, by the way, the governor of Illinois' brother. People forget that J.B.'s family is in finance about purchasing or investing in this particular ammo company. Just kind of, really the reporting here is more about showing how far the tentacles of the Epstein list really perverts itself throughout society. The evilness of those in power and the connection of those in power. Yes, on both sides of the aisle, by the way. This is not a right versus left thing. Epstein ran an evil organization, pedophile ring for, we think we know who, but I mean, obviously there was definitely Israel involved and a few others. But the tentacles of that really have infected all walks of society. Nothing's exempt, including the pro-gun world. So he was looking to invest in this company. Now, there was no evidence necessarily that ever went through with purchase, but again, it goes to show how deep it runs. And I'm going to give an opinion here at the end of this second piece because this is what's hard to balance. He was also a huge supporter of Mike Bloomberg, former New York City mayor, presidential candidate, and someone who founded Everytown for gun safety. Michael Bloomberg is a multi-billionaire. There's a lot of emails back and forth between him and Epstein, and he is a very large anti-gun donator and someone who really fights to take guns out of civilians' hands and disarm you and me. Michael Bloomberg is one of those guys that is probably, enemy number one when it comes to the Second Amendment. And the ties between him and Jeffrey Epstein are very close. And again, another guy in the financial world. He ran a financial firm before he became mayor of New York City. And again, you're seeing this kind of infecting of every walk of life by this guy and his cronies and what he was doing. Now, while there's no direct evidence of him directing money towards like Everytown or anything like that, or even necessarily advocating for gun control, he was a felon that could not possess guns previously before his death. And there's talks about him and pictures of him owning guns, which again kind of shows the elites, right? The elites, there's the rules for them and then the rules for the rest of us. You and I for sure would go to prison for that. He's out there flaunting it and getting away with it. So that kind of goes to show you that. And pause on the video, guys, to give a shout out to our channel sponsor, Patriot Mobile. Now, I've personally been a member of Patriot Mobile for several years now. Everyone is using a cell phone these days. So the question is, why not support someone who supports you, who stands up for the rights that you and I hold dear? And Patriot Mobile puts their money where their mouth is by donating a portion of every dollar they make to the causes that you and I hold dear. They use the same 5G networks that every other major provider uses. You're not sacrificing service. You're supporting a company that will support you. They're going to give our listeners a special discount. Using the code SHALLNOT and clicking the link down below, you will get a free month when you switch to Patriot Mobile. With that, let's get back to the video. And trying to balance these two things, where you have a guy who's trying to buy or invest or looking to buy and invest into a gun maker or an ammo manufacturer, and then at the same time donating money, planning parties with a guy who is one of the most anti-gun figures in America, has founded one of the largest anti-gun groups in America, and has worked hard to swing elections, say in Virginia, for the anti-gunners. We have seen that. So why would this individual do this? Why, what makes sense about this? And I'm not saying that there's a lot of sense, and I'm not even saying that I fully understand the answers, but I do think that you have to take into account that the point was to literally infect and compromise everybody. It was to insert himself into every aspect of American life. And let's be honest, it's not just American life, it's world life. Of course, we're seeing what's going on in Europe with the royals. That was the point. The point was absolute corruption. And unfortunately, the Second Amendment and or at least I shouldn't say the Second Amendment, the gun world is not exempt from this. And that's something that should be top of mind, guys. When we talk about the people that are fighting for our rights, we need to make sure that we understand everyone who's fighting for our rights and their intentions. And that doesn't matter if you're in power and you're getting donations from. Unfortunately, there are evil people in this world, and they're looking to take advantage. They're looking to compromise you. That's why we should always live by a code and hold that code up. Now, I'm not perfect, and no one is, and that doesn't mean that we won't make mistakes. But the real answer here is own up to those mistakes and just be a man about it and be honest. Don't let someone blackmail you into doing something that you don't want to, or participating in things that you shouldn't. And ultimately, don't put yourself in compromising positions. I mean, really, that's what it comes down to. Protect your character, protect your individual, protect your person. That's kind of the lesson from here. We're not a political channel, really. I mean, we obviously do cover political things because of gun bans and stuff going across the country. But I just thought that this reporting was interesting because, again, it does show that there really is nothing exempt from the Epstein stuff. That's how deep and dark this goes. And we do need to do some soul searching because there needs to be real consequences for this. And now I would say this too, regardless of Epstein, when we see politicians like we're seeing here in Minnesota, whether it be in Virginia, New Mexico, California, we all kind of know the list, openly violate and try to attempt to violate the Constitution, there should be harsh consequences for them too. I say make tar and feathering great again because we need to bring that back. There needs to be serious shaming, serious ostracizing from society, those who have not only corrupted our children like the Epstein stuff, but also are actively fighting against the very foundations and rights and protections that you and I are afforded by our Creator, by God Himself. Because once those are gone, there's nothing that we can do to defend ourselves from whatever tyranny will come down the pike. That's really the lesson here. So again, keep tuning in. I wrote a little bit about this in our news section, so please go check that out. We're always breaking new stories and lots of content. There's so much content coming your way. Like, subscribe to this channel. Go give the Rumble a thumbs up as well. And if you'd like to support our Patreon, again, we can't thank all of our viewers enough. We love the comments. We love going through them and responding in the interaction with you guys. You guys are great. So again, shout out to you. Big shout out to Minnesota for at least defeating the HF 3433 bill, the assault weapons ban here. And of course, New Mexico for doing it first. And again, Virginia, good luck. Please do that there as well. Keep fighting for your 2A rights. And also, just, again, don't be careful about who's around you. That's the lesson. Till the next video, guys. We'll see you then.